I started a stream. Are you there? I'll wait a few seconds. 15 seconds. Good morning, everybody. It is now Christmas Eve. Let's see. Can see more. Yes. Right. Let's see if anybody shows up. It's early in the morning at 7:19 in California. Hope everybody's waking up early. Pat Paulson, my friend. How are you, sir? You're not up early this morning to work on your cars. I was looking for you last time at Power Stroke Jude's. Was it Thursday night? I think it was Thursday night. My voice is still a little raspy. My wife got sick, and I think she gave me part of it. But it's still early in the morning. I'm in another room because she's been feeling ill over the few days. I just got up at 6 and gave her um, some NyQuil or DayQuil, whatever you call that crap. We got two people in here now. Mayor, how you doing, sir? Wow, I haven't heard that name in a while. Reruns of Kildare. As a matter of fact, I've been listening to Dark Shadows, Barnaby Collins. I don't know if you remember that program back in the '60s. Mayor, I hope you have a good Christmas, man. Still awake? Would you do a binge on Dr. Kildare? Yeah, I also taught a few Nightmare on Elm Street. I showed them the movie. I mean the episode after they read the book. And I was an English teacher. Yeah, I even let my kids watch Gilligan's Island and Petticoat Junction and Green Acres and what else? A lot of old programs. You know some? I got Christmas cards this year. I got about 10. I put them on my double doors on the inside. Wow. Did Freddie have a Christmas movie? Freddie Fender or who's Freddie there, Mayor? You know, I don't know that name. I know the name, but I don't know his books. Yeah, Christmas on Elm Street, yeah. Boy, I tell you, that was when it was in black and white on Elm Street. The monsters. I'm sorry, the monsters on Elm Street. That's what it was. That's what the show was about. Boy, in old age, I'm forgetting my characters. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Jonathan Livingston Seagull. Yeah, I shoot. When I was in high school, I read all the classics, even the ones that we weren't supposed to read. I mean, for being a Catholic high school in Memorial, man, I could not believe they let us read some of the books. The only one I didn't really like a lot is my senior year. We started reading Chaucer, and it was I don't know, it was too wordy for me. Illusions. I'll check it out. I read everything. Arthur Miller. I read. Who else? Jeez, I can't remember names right now. Too early in the morning. Oh, really? The Time Machine, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, all those? I was into sci-fi, but I don't know. I don't know. It's just I remember the movie 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea with Kurt. What's his name? Kurt, not Russell. The other one, Kurt. The one that had the dimple in his chin. Yeah, I wasn't too crazy about. Even when I was a kid, I didn't like. Um, what do you call it? Oh shoot, I didn't like Halloween when I was a kid. Doctor Who, welcome, man, welcome. Happy Christmas too. Let's see. Well, Soroyan was a local boy here in California, and I read most of his stuff. Langston Hughes, um, Cisneros, a lot of the local people. Gary Cisneros. Yeah, we've been. It's been cloudy and foggy here in California. Sun came out yesterday for a little bit. If you don't mind me asking, Pat, how is your family doing? Your parents? Uh, yeah, I know how that goes. Well, I'm I'm praying for them, and you too. It's a lot of weight that you're carrying, man. I carried my parents for. I didn't mind really. It was a labor of love. Let's put it that way. Ooh, sorry to hear that. Now, in my advanced age, I'm wondering, will the liver grow back part of it? Because I heard liver does grow back in some. Maybe I'm wrong. A third. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. The only thing that will get me is like my dad used to complain about not being able to be ambulatory. Sorry for my voice, but my it's early in the morning, and my wife gave me something like a little bit of a cold. Not bad. I don't feel bad. Just we've been busy, busy, busy with grandkids and shopping and making tamales and cooking and decorating and wrapping presents. Cyclops, he made it, brother. Cyclops Steve, this is Pat Paulson. He's a neighbor down the street, about 45 minutes away. We have the same interests in cars and like that. And Steve, Pat, he's from Tennessee. Copy. Are you guys all there? Yeah. I hope you guys can hear me still. Uh, Everybody there? Okay, good. I finished working for Snap on its own list. Oh shoot. Trying to figure this out. Did it work? There we go. Come on up, Steve, if you can. Yeah, that's kind of well. Tell them to kick it up to 500 and then say, I'll go for it. It's a 45-minute drive. To be closer to Fresno, you can stop by all the time to go to that salvage yard. What was the name of that place? I hope this is still working. Ooh, that's too long of a day. Turner's Auto Wrecking, thank you. No link. Ah, darn it. I put it in the room. Let's see, did it come out? No, it didn't. Let's see. Can you get into private chat? Let's see. I'm trying to. There we go. Let's see. How about now? I'm on my phone, so I'm barely learning how to do this stuff. I hardly ever do live streams on my phone. Hello, my brother.
Hello, darling.
He's up. He's up. He's up on that.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. I'm still in bed.
Oh, man, I'm
I
worse than I
invited.
can go to bed.
I invited Pat, my friend from my neighbor down the street in the next city, but I don't see why he's not here. Here we go. There we go. At stage, I guess. Let's see if he's there now. There he is.
Morning, Hector.
Morning, Pat. How you doing, man?
How you doing, my friend?
There he is.
Ah,
How you doing, Pat?
getting
Merry
moving.
Christmas.
Steve, this is Pat.
Likewise.
Pat, this is Steve. Yeah, I was just doing a lot of. We've been busy, man. Last 2 weeks, making tamales, shopping, and I'm working also almost full time as a teacher. So the good thing is I only get to work till 3 o'clock. Or else I'm gonna get my other stuff done. And I can't imagine doing this full time when I was working with kids and lesson plans and grading papers and all that. Man, I'm love retirement. I like just go in, babysit the kids, and walk out.
Yeah, that sounds like a whole lot of work.
Yeah, I enjoy it though. Man, man. Some of the kids are really tough, man. They think they're I don't know. They're just they're mean, for a better
Yeah,
word.
35 kids
Are
in a
you talking about
classroom. I couldn't do it.
Now, are you talking about SJM kids or public school kids?
Public school kids. Yeah.
I was going to say because SJM kids are pretty darn respectful,
Oh yeah. I was
at
there.
least from my experience.
Yeah, I was there just the last football game. I went to the last home game at Memorial, and I was hearing thank you and excuse me and please. I'm going, dang, I must be in another planet or something because I usually don't hear that from kids, And they were freshmen too. We're sitting right next to a bunch of freshman kids at underneath this stadium. What do you call it? The observation booth. And I thought it would be crazy, but my friend and he went to Memorial too with me, and he lives in town. And we went to the game, and I said, "Why do you want to sit over here with the band and all the kids? It's gonna get kind of rowdy." No, they were fine. I mean, I didn't hear no cussing, except for one little word, shit. And that was it. But other than that, nah.
And that came from you, right?
I was going to answer that, and I won't cop to it. Oh yeah, me and Steve, Cyclops and I, we always talk about food because we like to barbecue. I like to barbecue now. Before it was a lot of work, but now that I'm getting the hang of it, I enjoy it more.
Oh, I love it. Love firing up that smoker.
And so you have more free time now, Pat, now that you're not working for Snap-on anymore?
I wasn't sure when it was going to come to an end. Like I said, the guy still wants me to keep doing the work. And when I brought the truck back to the guy I work for this week, he said, "Hey, you may have just worked your last day for me." So I was like, "Well, you want me to work Tuesday?" Because my plan was to work both of my days on Tuesday. Just power through it. And he said, "Nah, it looks like the sale's going through, so I'm not going to work anymore. So, enjoy the rest of the year."
Are you the one that work for Snap-on?
Yes.
Oh man, that stinks. I mean, that's some serious money there.
I was getting paid $300 a day, and I was getting my tools at cost. So,
oh, jeez,
I got to the point where I bought just about everything I could possibly need and or want. So,
really?
Yeah,
I've got a buddy of mine. He's a professional mechanic, and I bet he's got $10,000 worth of Snap-on tools, toolboxes, you name it. He's got it.
Yeah, me and Pat always go to.
I probably. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Pat.
Oh, I was going to say I probably have in the range of about 50,000 in tools, and I'm not a professional mechanic.
Wow.
If you include all of my metalworking tools and all of my paint and body supplies and things I have just for the sake of having.
Yeah. What I'm referring to is the stuff he has in his garage. That's not even counting what he has at work.
Yeah.
Well, what I was going to say
most
earlier,
of my
no, I'm sorry, Pat. I'm cutting you off. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say most of mine is in my garage. So.
Yeah, I'm more of a craftsman tool guy.
Those aren't bad. They were a good tool when they were USA made.
Yes, sir. I agree.
But you spend a day with a Craftsman 10 mil in your hand, and you spend a day with a Snap-on tool in your hand, same size, and you'll know why they can get so much for the Snap-on.
I believe it.
you wouldn't think it, but yeah, that's
No,
yeah.
I would think it.
Hey, Carlos Z, how you doing, man? Um, well, I was gonna say Pat and I met through a channel called Power Stroke Jude, was a bunch of mechanics get together and all they do is talk about tools. And I'm kind of thrown off a little bit because my interests are in everything from science to welding to automotive to, so I'm interested in everything. So I got in there one time and that's how Pat and I met because he's about 45 minutes from my house. Matter of fact, I go by probably his town at least 4 or 5 times a year, going to see my brother-in-law in either in Gilroy or going up to San Francisco.
So he's one of those poor Kelly guys.
Who, me?
Yep.
Yeah, I am. I
Both
am.
of you.
Well,
I give Hector all kind of crap about being
he's always busting my chops.
living in California, but it's all in good fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
yeah.
pay the sunshine tax. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if we stop paying, attention to the sun now that it's all rainy and cloudy now, I'm not used to that.
Oh, it's shaping up to be a real nice day
Yeah,
because I'm
but I gotta.
outside right now.
Or are you? You were up all night.
Yeah.
You're like Steve. Steve was up all
Yeah.
night too.
Yeah, we had rain for
Mhm.
24 hours straight.
Oh, yuck. Well, the next 3 weeks I'm going to be off from school, so my plan is to get my garage cleaned up, reorganized, and paint where I need to paint, and clean up what I need to clean up, and just clean out my garage.
Yeah, I need to do that. I've got about 5 outbuildings and a barn. It would take weeks to get all that done.
Yeah.
Well,
I have
Pat's
to
a car
assemble
guy.
my I have to assemble my air dryer because I picked up a plasma cutter, but can't really use it until I get some nice dry air. So I got to put all
You
my
mean
filters up and all the
are you
dryers.
talking about the machinery itself? It needs to be dry air, or the humidity in the air that you work in?
The humidity of the air you use for the tool.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So your compressed air has to be very clean and very dry. Otherwise, you start eating up consumables real fast.
Uh,
So
and how do you dry it out? Just because I know there's a valve in a tank, right?
well, you keep that out, but you also run it through stages of silica and filters. So you get it as dry as you possibly can. And I'm not going to go crazy with it and refrigerate it also, because if you refrigerate it, you drop the moisture out even more. But, I'm not doing anything that fancy. So, because I've got a Volkswagen here, I got to do floor pans on and a quarter panel. So I want to get started on that. So now that I'm gainfully unemployed, I can have time to do these things.
I know the feeling.
I like that. Gainfully unemployed. That explains me perfectly.
Well, like Hector, I have a pension that comes in every month. So the Snap-on job for me was just, extra money that got spent back on the Snap-on truck or, ordering other tools online. So
Yeah.
expanding the collection. So
It's funny because I get my tools as I need it, because it can get pretty pricey. all the stuff I need to do.
Yeah, I go by the I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Because usually when you need
my
a tool, that's when you're in oh shit mode.
mine's planned because when I do something, I know I need certain things, and I get those things. Then I'm not rushing to get like a friend of mine. He's always calling me up. You have this? Yeah. Can I borrow it? Yeah. Then he calls me up a couple of days later. You have this? I said, yeah. Can I borrow it? Yeah. And then I don't get it back for a year.
If you bring the first one back, you can borrow the next one.
Well, that's because he's still using it because he doesn't finish his projects. It takes way too much time.
It's funny, the guy that I was driving the Snap-on truck for, when he told me this week, he said, hey, you're done. He hit me up and he said, hey, I noticed you bought a ball joint press. You think I can borrow that? Yeah, sure.
No.
Did you rent it to him?
That's what I was gonna say. I would maybe rent it to him.
That guy was a friend and my tool dealer first, and a boss second. And I have absolutely no complaints about the guy.
Oh, cool. That's good. That's good. There's so many people in my neighborhood that we kind of I know how to do this, so I go help him. He comes over and helps me when I don't know how to do something.
Hello.
So there's a guy down the street who's a retired mechanic. He put a 66 long bed 3/4 ton Chevy pickup 66. He put it together within a year. He did the tranny, the engine, the wiring, body work, paint, interior within a year because all his buddies were all, had different skills.
Yeah.
And
thank you.
That's a good thing about living in the country. We all help each other out.
Yeah. Well, I've got a 71Z that I got to get started on. I got to get this other Volkswagen done and out of here. And
I got to see those.
And then after that, I'm doing another Nissan hardbody. So I'm probably going to slam that one and put it on airbags. And then I've got a LS3 swap that I want to do on a 92 240 SX.
Ooh.
So I'm still looking for a GTO 6-speed for that project, though.
Good luck.
Wow. There was a neighbor of mine who just recently, well, not recently, he's moved a while back.
Hector's seen pictures.
Oh, yeah. They're nice. Really nice cars. Well, actually, Z's my favorite car. My first car ever. As a matter of fact, my next neighborhood had a GTX. Several of them.
Have you been catching, there's a channel called My Mechanics?
No, I haven't.
Have you been watching a channel called My Mechanics?
No, I haven't.
There's a guy out of England that has a 73 240 that he's doing a rotisserie restoration on.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, Hector's been too busy.
I don't agree with some of the stuff he's doing.
Is it because it's more of a European taste rather than a American?
No, he's still keeping relatively stock options, but he's doing stuff like shaving the side marker lights and little things like that, because I think the side marker lights are one of the things that make the car. It's it's a stupid thing that was required by DOT, but the way
Uh-huh.
that those are hung on the Z is particularly unique.
Uh-huh.
In that
Come on, 240Z or
they're
280Z?
on 240s.
240s, okay.
So, but when when those lights are properly placed on, they're in a horizontal plane to the rest of the car, and most of the time people put them on wrong, and they have them blended into the body line. But when you do them right, they look super sharp.
Huh.
So
Yeah, for me, I would just keep it as original as possible.
I wouldn't have a Japanese car in my driveway for nothing.
Well, nowadays, almost every car now made that's got a foreign name to it it's made in America some part.
Yeah, I almost divorced my wife because she bought a Kia.
Kia? I'd do something better than that, but yeah.
Well, that's Korean.
She loves it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it is, but she loves that car.
Hey, Pat, I've been noticing the price of some of the Z's have been going down a little bit.
The ones that you see that are lower are just complete rust buckets.
And the ones I saw that are mostly automatic.
Yeah, I've looked at a few just because I wouldn't mind picking up a couple more.
Wow.
Just to have around.
Yeah,
because ultimately I'd like to have a early 69, a 70. I've already got the 71 and the 72. Don't want a 73, but I'd like to have, up through 72.
And yeah, mine was
put them in stock configurations. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See,
yeah,
73 had the
flat top carburetors.
The 73 wasn't a bad car, but yeah, it's got those flat top carburetors that, unless you're tinkering with them all the time, they always ran like shit.
Mine had Webers. They didn't have the original carburetors.
Mm-hmm.
And I took it for the Datsun all the time, and then I took it to Fresno Ford. I don't know if you know that place in Fresno. They work mostly on Ford cars. I used to take it there, and the only problem I had was more electrical problems than anything else.
Mm-hmm. The only electrical problems that those cars were really prone to was moisture getting into the bulbs. And then as they age, the contact points, but the contact points go on the combination switch for the headlight and turn signal. Those just wear out over time, so you can actually rebuild those. It's not fun, but you can do it.
Yeah.
So I've got 6 or 7 of them that I've collected over the years and have them stored away, and they're all rebuilt and ready to go.
Wow.
So, which my wife gives me shit all the time because, I've got all these parts for cars that I don't hardly drive. So
I can only imagine because my wife gives me grief for the cars that I have.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, my brother-in-law has a '58 Impala that he just bought, and about a year ago, and he wouldn't take it to a guy that we know since we were in high school. His name's Archie Torres, and he's got 58s, he's got 57s, he's got a 57 panel, he's got a 57 Nomad, he's got his own 58s, he's got 2 of them. He runs a shop. He's an independent mechanic and body work and does all that, but he has some of the nicest cars I've seen in a long, long time. And I was thinking about going over there and just picking his brain. And
I've always had a soft spot for the 59.
Oh, the 59. Yeah, those are nice too.
Hmm.
But he had the 58
Yeah,
double.
the
Well, he had two of them before.
59s I've always had a soft spot for.
Hey, Coin Junkie, how you doing? Yeah, I plan to get my Z. I'm still looking. I'm not ready yet. I need to clear out my garage and do some stuff, and before I get any older, before I can't do any more mechanic work.
You got to get those Bentleys out of the way.
No, I don't have a Bentley.
I know.
I wouldn't
He's
own
got
one.
4 of them.
No, they're paid for.
See, right now we've got a we've got a shop in Los Banos that the guy that runs it specializes in lowriders, and he's got my gas tank for my '69 Suzuki in there right now, and he's doing just an absolute gorgeous candy paint job on it. So
Hey,
I hope to get
shoot,
that back next week or so.
I'm keeping I have a '63 C10, and I'm going to keep that. I'm going to do all the running gear. I'm going to do all the suspension. I'm going to do the interior, and everything else is going to stay on the outside as the same patina. Just leave it as it is.
Mm-hmm.
But no
That's
paint
cool.
job. Yeah, I mean, it's a thing now. And then my other truck, my '57 Chevy half-ton pickup, that one's got a good paint job on it. Bed's done. I did the wiring myself. I got to work on the interior. Rug, the
Mhm.
seat, and paint it inside. But I think I'm gonna touch it up again, just to get it a little bit more cleaner.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, if you're going to really take on a Z as a project, unless you've got the height for a lift, get a quick jack. It makes life so much easier.
The ones that are hydraulic,
But if you yeah, they're a little hydraulic 2-piece lift that you can get plenty of height in it to get the transmission out and do pretty much everything you need to do on it. But a lot of residential garages don't have the height you need for a 2 or a 4-post lift.
Yeah, I think mine's not an 8-foot. I wish it was 10 foot. I wish, but yeah, they say when it's residential, they save on height.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you can pick up a quick jack for under, if you watch for when they go on sale for about $1,000. And
really,
yeah, they are worth their weight in gold for doing work on Z's anyway. Unless you've got the height. My dad's shop, he has the height for lifts, but
really?
I don't get to work there very often. So
wow, yeah, I saw those jacks. I even resorted to going and making my own jacks where I put all 4 tires on 2 feet, 3 feet tall stacks, and with safety jacks underneath each of the sides. When I worked underneath it with my car. But I was thinking about that now that I have time to put one together and time to disassemble it and take it back. There's a friend of mine down the street. He was talking about digging his garage floor out and re-cementing it to where he could put a pit in his garage. It was a crazy idea, but that might work.
I would tell him check with his homeowner's insurance first.
Oh.
Yeah, because they will, if he has anything happen in that, they will cancel him in a heartbeat.
Well,
I looked into that.
You better check with the.
I don't have the height either. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah,
never thought about that.
And unless you're really geared up properly for a pit, it's a nice idea, but a real professional pit has things like drains in it that you know generally you're not prepared to do that because the bottom of your pit's going to be below grade for your plumbing already.
Right.
Because your plumbing's maybe 3 feet, 4 feet down from where your house already is.
Yeah.
So for a pit to be really good, you need about 6 feet. So,
Yeah, my buddy was telling me that he works for a national insurance company, and they're canceling people's insurance all over the place. From the tornadoes to hurricanes to the earthquakes. Well, not the earthquakes as much, but it's the fires we've had in California. You know, I went to go renew my insurance with for my
mhm.
house, and they were telling me already that you better keep it because we're already counseling people in like up in the mountains where like Vashon and Oakhurst and Corsko, where the fire hazard at, they've been canceling their people's fire insurance.
Mhm. Well,
So I guess
have you looked into a company called California Casualty?
yes, I have them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, I have
that's who
them.
I use too, and they're the best bang for your buck.
Yeah, I've been with them since I was
So
teaching. I've been with
yeah,
them over 20,
since I
20
was a
years,
cop,
25
I
years.
had them. So
Are they pro board for professional
yeah,
people
same
or
here.
is it
Uh,
okay? Yeah, because we've been
yeah,
with. I'll be
they
compared to
just
Allstate and Farmers
specialize in
Insurance.
teachers, doctors, nurses, and
Yeah, I've been with them
they're worth the
since.
money.
Yeah,
So
it is. I mean, I've had no
I
problems
do
with them. And
all of my stuff through them.
I got my homeowners, my cars, and liability, everything. Oh, you got kids or
Hmm.
TV on?
Yeah, because
There must be a
I don't.
lag or something. Any grandkids?
Just
Pat, I never
like I
asked you.
said, I'm standing in front of my house.
Uh-huh.
No,
Oh, the kids are out in front?
nope. Uh,
No?
my daughter's working on her. Yeah, my daughter's working on her second master's. Um,
Wow.
while she gets into her doctorate program, and
Uh-huh.
my son took my old job, and he just recently got married about 4 months ago, and
Oh,
lives across the street from me. So I've got both of my kids right here.
that's pretty cool. My son did not want to live across the street because even though he was looking for a house, there was
Hmm.
a house down the street. He didn't want to live in the same town, so he moved to Fresno, and he's only like 5 minutes from my daughter's house. Now she wants to move back to town, and she wants to leave Fresno because she doesn't. I told her how Fresno was, but she didn't believe me, and I told her, "Hey, this is how Fresno is." And she said, "Dad, you're right. I need to come back to home." I said, "Okay." So now they're looking for a place in town. Well, not in town, but her husband wants at least 2 acres, and he wants to put a barn. He wants to not a barn, working shed. I told him, "Hey, we'll make it this way. Do this, do that," and he's ready to. He's an
Hmm.
ex Navy corpsman. Steve, you still there?
Well, that's good.
Yep, I'm just
Yeah, it's
listening.
nice to have the kids close.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't. We didn't want our house is paid off, and we didn't want to move to a smaller place, even though we don't use 3 bedrooms. But they're decorated, and filled with stuff, and Claudia took all her stuff out, and we put our stuff in. And I didn't think we had that much stuff still, but geez, after 42 years of marriage, you get a lot of stuff.
See, I stripped all the upstairs bedrooms out, put in shelving, and I've got car parts in them.
It would kill me if I did something like that. As it is, I got my desk and living room, and we have a large living room, and I put all my stuff. You know, I even collect like old cameras and Super Bowl stuff and like that. And she goes, and I left a few stuff, around, the parts of the living room, and all of a sudden you see it all unorganized and still on top of my desk, and everything that she opens the lid and sees all the stuff in there and closes it back up. And I come back and I'm going, okay, who's been messing with my desk? And it's her. She's always moving stuff without telling me. So I'm missing stuff. Or they're in a box. Excuse me. So yeah. So what's the plans for your Christmas?
Yeah. I'm lucky. For us, it's just another day.
Oh,
so
really?
We don't really get too much into it because my son has to work. So well, he's on call actually. So we don't know what the time frame is going to be that he's going to be available. And for the years when I was working, it was kind of the same thing. I was always working on holidays.
Right.
So
right.
we just kind of got in the habit of not really doing holidays. So
yeah, I know the feeling because when I was
like I explained to my wife every time when she starts. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, what I tell my wife is we don't need an excuse if we want to give someone a gift. There's not an obligation of a certain holiday. So if I want to buy her something, I do it. And, joke around, this is your Christmas present. And, she got it in February, so she's done for the year.
Yeah, we did that in September because she wanted a new phone, and then she added earbuds, and then she added a tablet. And then she says, well, this is my anniversary gift, this is my Christmas gift, and my birthday gift. I said, okay, that's fine with me.
Yeah, we went to Fresno about a month ago now. We went to Fresno about a month ago now and got another dog. So the breeder that we got the Saint Berdoodle from came up to Fresno and dropped off the puppy. So yeah,
that was her. Was it
Christmas, Valentine's? The first dog is a Saint Berdoodle, but this one is a Bernedoodle. It's got the same mom, but different dad.
Oh, okay.
Burmese Mountain Dog and Poodle, and the other one, Saint Bernard and Poodle.
For the last 40 years, I haven't had a dog in about 6 years, 7 years. But prior to that, I've always raised Dobermans.
Mm-hmm.
I've had
we've always had Cocker Spaniels. Yeah. Over the last 20 years, we've probably had eight different Cockers, and we've still got two. We've got two Chihuahuas, two Cockers, and the Saint Berdoodle and the Bernedoodle.
Saint Berdoodle. So it's a Saint Bernard and a Poodle mix.
The Saint Berdoodle is going to be the biggest one.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I've always had Dobermans since I was 18. I had 6 of them in the last 40 years. Most of them didn't
Yeah,
live past
kind of breaking up
12.
there a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's a lag too for some reason. My wife just came in the door. She told me it's breakfast time. So I think I'm gonna call it
Yeah,
a day and
we probably
get to breakfast.
won't do a traditional breakfast today. So
Oh, really? Well, we're doing tamales tonight, so I'm gonna starve myself until dinner tonight about 8 o'clock. We're gonna have the tamales and special sauce, and we're getting together with my 4 brother-in-laws, their wives, their kids, and our grandkids. So it's gonna be about 60 people.
Nice.
And we used to do it at my father-in-law's house, which is even worse because it was his siblings, their wives, their kids, and then our total grandkids on 4 sides. So, and it was a small house. I don't know how we did it, but it was fun. So we're gonna go to his house, and he's got a big backyard. He's got a half acre in the back and pool, and room for the kids to run around. So we'll get together tonight to midnight.
that's
Past
cool.
president, come home. Yeah. Well, this is
Yeah.
different because when I was in retail, just like you, holidays, I worked almost every holiday you can think of, and only had one day off a week sometimes, and I worked 14, 15-hour days. When you're in management, your salary, they don't care how many hours you work. So getting used to working
hmm
weekends off and the summers off and holidays, it's gotten me spoiled now.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Today I'm going to build a mount, but today I'm going to build a mount for putting a pipe vise on the back of my son's plumbing truck. So,
Oh,
or van, I should say.
uh-huh.
So I've already got the welder pulled out, and going to get the saw going here in a little bit, and be nice if I could use my plasma cutter, but like I said, I don't have the air set
Yeah.
up quite right yet. So
Your son does
that'll
a
be
side
my
job
day
in plumbing?
today.
You have 2 sons or 1 son?
Yeah, one son.
Okay. And,
So,
and he does plumbing on the
'cause
side?
I always told him you can't rely on one job. Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
you
That
can't
is true.
rely on your on one thing. So before he went into police work, he was a plumber, and after he finished all of his training up and everything, he went and got his license, and is on days where he doesn't have call or doesn't have to work, he does work for a lot of the property management companies, and after he's done with his shifts, he can go over and snake drains out, or do whatever needs to be done.
Wow. Yeah, that's
So
not a bad idea.
he's a busy kid.
Well, youth has its advantages.
So
You gotta make that hay
yeah,
when the sun's shining.
because he originally wanted to, but he wanted to do mechanical type work, more along the lines of our hobbies. And
Uh-huh.
I told him, if you blow out your knee doing cop work, mechanic work isn't easy either.
No.
Plumbing is actually easier on your body than being a mechanic, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
So
especially on the back.
that, and with mechanic work, you're at the you're at the whim of what parts are available, and you're dealing with waste oil and all the other stuff, where you can spend, $5,000 and you can get almost everything you need for fixing just about anything plumbing related and carry
Right.
it around in a van with you. You know, someone brings you a car that ain't running right, you can spend all day trying to diagnose it.
Yeah.
And most people don't want to wait. They don't want to wait for plumbing either, but fixing plumbing's a lot quicker than trying to figure out an electrical issue on a new car.
Yeah. I just spent a few dollars at my dad's place. One of the pipes got, well, it was PEX, and I guess one of the rats or mice or whatever, field
Mm-hmm.
mice, ate through the PEX and flooded one of the bedrooms. So I had to fix that. That wasn't cheap. But yeah,
Yeah,
it was
PEX
worth it.
isn't bad as long as you have all the right crimpers.
Right. And it's not too bad too, because I mean, for my time, it was better to spend the money, because if I had done that work, it would have taken too long. They did it in 8 hours and replaced all the
Mm-hmm.
PEX to the whole house. They had two guys, two man, two crew, you might want to say, and one worked in the
Mm-hmm.
bathroom straight line, and the other one worked on doing all the unions. So they went like follow work. One did cutting, putting the fittings in, and one guy came around and did all the one down, the downspouts, or the down feed for the water for each of the water mains to the bathrooms, and they were done in
Mm-hmm.
8 hours. I said, "Great! I would have taken me probably weeks to get what they did done." So to me, time was more value than the money spent.
Yeah, in my house when he was doing plumbing, he pulled all of the plumbing into PEX. So we had copper in there before, but you know, if you do PEX and you do PEX right, it's a end solution. You don't
Mhm.
have to worry about it, having a cavitation leak or anything like that. So that's the biggest problem with copper is, you get, especially around your elbows and stuff, you get cavitation, and that's what starts
The
your
leaks.
leaks to get really bad. Hmm.
Uh, yeah, I
So
replaced it all.
he did all that, and the company he was working for also did heating and air. So he went through and blew in more insulation into the attic, and you know took care of everything. So we're pretty solid at living in this house for a while.
Oh
So
yeah,
much as I'd like to move, but
I almost had a job working in Monterey. I would have retired there. That's my favorite place.
hmm
But my wife
hmm
didn't want to move from town. She didn't want to move from her parents, and it kind of worked out because um, my parents got sick and they couldn't really afford to go into a home, and just a lot of complications. A lot
hmm
of things that I was kind of glad that we stayed around town, and the house got paid off. I mean, there's a lot of things that were difficult, but there was a lot of things that were advantageous. So we stuck around here.
yeah,
And I think
thing,
my wife's gonna say we're gonna die
things
in this
always
place.
happen for a reason.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I hope your dad does well after
Yeah, because
his surgery.
thank you. Yeah, he's bouncing back pretty well. So,
Good.
but both my wife lost her dad to the COVID, and
Yeah, I did.
but
I
her
did too. I
parents
lost my mom.
live in Turlock, and my parents do.
Oh,
So
yeah. I lost my mom to COVID.
so it's kind of nice. It's nice because we're just far enough away from my in-laws that I don't have to deal with them, but close enough that if my wife wants to go see them.
And I have the opposite. My mother-in-law and my father-in-law were great people. They were never intrusive, always helping. With my kids, and always inviting. And it was. I guess I got lucky in-laws wise, because other siblings,
Hmm.
they have their picadillos with their in-laws. But I mean, I got lucky.
Yeah, my mother-in-law. Let's see, what's the best way to put this? Can't understand normal thinking. So
Oh my
Yeah, I
goodness.
got extra lucky. Both of mine are dead.
Oh jeez. Well, see, the that part about the only thing with my in-laws was that my wife is the only daughter out of four brothers and six uncles. And when I started dating her, they just gave me the eyeball,
Mhm.
like, "Son, you better behave, or else we're gonna come after your butt."
Yeah,
But on
I
certain
raised
terms.
4 daughters. I know that look, and all my son-in-laws know that look.
My daughter says that's why she can't date anybody. So
Because
just
dad's a cop.
they get a look at me. And, well, that was part of it, and of course, like I said, it an advantage, but disadvantage for them at the same time.
Yeah.
And I used to tell people, and it sounds kind of bad to say it this way, but when your kids are going to high school in Fresno and you live in
Uh-huh.
Los Banos, no one's
Yeah.
driving 45 minutes to get their dick wet. So
Well, when all my daughters
there's
their
lower
first
hanging fruit.
dates, yeah, every time they had their first date, they coached their boyfriends on how to act and how to behave. And for some miraculous reason, when they first showed up at my house, it was gun cleaning day.
Oh, my dad had the opposite effect. When I would bring a date home, he would just grill them, and just ask them questions. Who's your family? Who's your parents? Usually it was somebody in town. He'd know them all, but since I went to school in Fresno, he wouldn't know the family at all. Hey, Cajun, how you doing, sir? Cajun Coin Hunter is in Louisiana.
Morning, Boo.
Steve.
Is that Cajun?
Oh,
Yeah,
Pat.
there
That's
he
right.
is.
Pat. Yeah, Pat.
How you doing, brother?
See,
Yeah,
Steve knows Pat too.
yeah.
I
Boo
mean,
owes me an
sorry.
unboxing video.
Oh, he does?
As in, Boo owes me and Diabolical, Tarek, uh, Speed Wrench, and Power Stroke Jude. He owes us all a unboxing video.
Oh God, don't
Oh
go
my
there.
goodness.
I owe about 15 people unboxing videos. I'm so far behind. It's ridiculous.
Steve, take them one at a time, man. One at a time.
Well,
Yeah, KK's threatening to buy a plane ticket and come down from Pennsylvania and whip my ass.
Oh, I'd be afraid of that. KK is nothing to mess around with.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
am. I'm scared. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, so we do know a lot of the people. Oh, that's good.
you should jump on in the panel, Boo.
Yeah, old Cajun. He's a good old boy.
Jump on in, Boo.
I've known Cajun.
Even if he is from down around Nolans.
Nouns. I've known Cajun for like 5 or 6 years.
Cajun and Missy, top-notch people.
Yeah,
Can't say enough nice
Oh,
things
yeah.
about them.
Yeah,
They are good folks.
They are as good as they come.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've known him since I first started getting on live streams. And Cajun was one of my first ones that I used to know a long time ago.
Well, what is he, about 162 now?
He's younger than I am. Careful, man.
Well, you're 112.
Well, I'm getting there.
Yeah, Cajun. He's a good dude. And Missy,
Absolutely.
she's sweet. She is as sweet as she can be.
Absolutely.
Y'all
Some
were
of
telling me to
the
jump
best
in the
people.
basement. I've been in there 5-10 minutes.
Oh, I'm
There he
sorry.
is.
I'm
How
getting used to
y'all
using
are?
my phone.
You on the phone?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. I got you. How y'all doing? Merry Christmas.
Merry
all.
Christmas, Boo.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas,
Merry,
everybody.
merry,
Yeah.
So yeah, I owe you an unboxing. Well, T6. I think you forgot to put Ken's name in there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Ken's not part of T6.
Huh?
No.
Oh.
No, Ken's not part of T6.
Oh, okay.
No.
Is that East Coast Ken?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought he was part of that. Okay. You talking about that jumpsuit? Jogging suit?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I did say I did show it off in somebody else's live. I didn't do a unboxing on it. I think only about 3 people saw that. On Wayne's.
Yeah, you said you were going to.
Yeah, and
I bet old Cajun
Diabolical's
looks sexy
been wanting to see
in
it.
that jogging suit.
put it this way: if I go hunting in it and I get shot, that hunter's blind. It's blaze orange, hunter orange. In fact, I wore the top of it a couple of days ago when I went in the hospital. It was cold in the hospital.
I didn't know you were in the hospital.
No, I wasn't physically in there, admitted. I did have an armband for 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
I just made 2 separate trips. Some deep ultrasounds on my heart and veins and aorta and main arteries. And something's not right.
Well,
And it's, my feet.
Welcome to
hopefully
my
they get it all
world,
fixed
brother.
up for you.
Yeah, I need that. I don't need to get my leg cut off like my buddy Matt Vidrine in the band. He got his leg cut off, and he was always active. You know, his right leg, his main artery going down his leg, just clogged up.
Wow.
It's
Always
femoral
active.
artery.
I mean, that man never had a sit down moment in his life, hardly. You know, except for when he was sleeping. So I don't want to end up like that or with a stroke.
Now, how the hell would his femoral artery clog up?
And he wasn't much for coffee like I am. He wasn't much for coffee. I'd meet him at the plumbing supply house in the morning, and he'd drink one little white cup of coffee. That was it.
Is his old ass ignoring me?
Who's that?
Cajun.
Nah. I think it's a lag.
No, can't be no lag. We in here the same time.
I've asked you about five questions and you hadn't answered one.
Oh, you probably asked me a question while I was talking. Go ahead. I heard something about blood clot.
No, I was just wondering how in the hell your femoral artery would get clogged up. That's a huge artery.
Yeah, it is. It is. But it got clogged up on Matt. And they checked mine, and when he had that sensor on the top part of my leg by that pressure point, no, he actually wasn't right there at that time. That was the second day. His assistant, that girl, was squeezing my calves, and you can hear that blood rush through. And then there was a couple of times didn't hear it rush through. I mean, it was a little bit, you know. I said, Ooh, I didn't hear a whole lot that time. She said, that's a small one. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's
Well,
scary.
good luck, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need it. I don't need another month in the hospital.
Well, look at it this way. Usually you have to pay good money to have a woman squeeze your leg, but
Yeah, I ain't trying to pay for this one, but it didn't pay for the extras.
I hope everything works out good, Boo.
Yeah, me too. Thank you.
Same here.
You didn't pay for the happy ending?
No.
Well, it's a little bit cheaper down there in around New Orleans.
Yeah, but
No, I don't think so.
I'm not nowhere near New Orleans. I'm nowhere near New Orleans. I'm in Southwest Louisiana, not in
Yeah, you're in Eunice.
Yeah, I'm 70 miles from.
Yeah, he's in Eunice
80
or in that area.
80 miles straight west. I mean, if I go straight west 80 miles, I'm crossing the Pearl, not Pearl River, Sabine River into Texas. New Orleans is I'm gonna say 2.5 hours from me, something like that. 3.
Yeah, New Orleans, it's a great place to visit, but I would not want to live there.
Yeah, good place to visit in the daytime.
Yeah,
You know, like Bourbon Street's all right at night, you know, but man, they got some hustlers on that street. Man, they kind of tone them down a little bit, you know, because they always want to bet you where you got your boots at, you know, and then I always bet them back. You know, I know where I got my boots. My boots on my feet, and I bought them at Gary's Menswear in Abbeville, Louisiana. A lot of people fall for that trick. It's a play on the words. That's what it is.
So is Johnny going to stay with you guys for Christmas, or what's he doing?
Actually, me and Missy, we both sick as a dog. I feel like a turd with the shit slung out of it.
Yeah, my wife is sick right now.
Missy too. She caught it from me. We both caught it almost at the same time. I don't know if I got picked up something in the hospital, but I was in the radiology part. I wasn't in the patient rooms areas and all that. But people going in and out from rooms, you know, back outside to go get them a burger or something.
yeah. Half of my grandkids are sick, and it's looking like it's going to be a lousy Christmas.
If we feel better tomorrow, Johnny will probably come over. I'm pretty sure he's at Todd Artigo's now. They do a huge Christmas thing on Christmas Eve at Todd's house. They've been doing that every year for 40 years.
Well, I told you before, but I'll say it again. Boy, your audio really improved with that new mic.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it does sound good.
You sound really good.
Yeah, that Kyle Alex told me, your audio sounds good with that lapel mic. I rewatched myself on. I guess I didn't give it enough criticism. I'll rewatch myself on somebody else's stream and my own stream, and that lapel mic or hatbill mic didn't sound good to me at all. Everybody else said it sounded good, but I'm my own critic, I guess.
Well, you sound awful pretty now.
Too pretty.
Yeah. Don't let the deliverance come out now.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep that in check.
Hey, Cajun.
Yeah,
Pat's,
yeah.
Pat's my neighbor down the street, about 45 minutes.
I figured y'all wasn't too far from each other.
No.
Have you seen his tool truck yet?
Actually, he doesn't have the tool truck anymore. Well, Pat will
I was
tell you
just telling
about that.
him I'm finished.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't realize that.
The guy that I was working for was the one that owned the truck, and he sold the route. So I'm gainfully unemployed again.
I actually thought you owned the
So-
truck. Oh well, okay. That's what I get for thinking.
No, I only did it 2 days a week. I only did it Monday, Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
So
I got you.
Well, gentlemen, I have got the bell.
it was fun while it lasted.
I've been up all night. I've got to get a little bit of sleep. Cajun, I hope you get feeling better. And Merry Christmas to all of you.
Well, thank you. You too. It
Same
was
here.
a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. Nice to meet you, brother. Cajun, I'll be seeing you around
Likewise.
soon. And Hector, yeah.
That'll work. All right, Steve.
I can't avoid seeing you.
Same here, brother. Same here.
Hey, y'all take care. God bless.
Bless y'all.
Bye.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Merry
Feliz
Christmas.
Navidad.
Feliz Navidad. I think he's stuck.
And it hit the red X at the bottom.
Which says, yeah, the X part.
This computer just running slow. Mine does that sometimes.
Oh, I think he's using his phone.
He probably closed it. Well, if he closes the app on a phone, it'll take him out completely.
Oh yeah.
After 20 seconds, 30 seconds.
Excuse me.
Let's see. I got
think
4
that-
T6 crew written down here. I got you, Hunterstroke, Jude, Cass, Terry. Let me think of the
Yeah.
other two.
Diabolical.
Yeah, Diabolical. Can't forget him.
Hmm.
And one more. I got them all. I got the
Nope,
cards
that's it.
saved and all that from the other.
Yeah,
From the,
that's all of us.
I thought it was 6 of y'all.
No, the whole thing that started it. The guy said there were 6 of us, but there weren't.
Oh,
So he said there were 6, and then
oh, okay.
he listed off 5. So we ran with the whole T6 thing.
Oh, okay.
So
All right. I've got all the names on
So
the card. But
mhm. That's
I don't know
why we joke, like the 5th Beatle. Who's the 6th member of T6? It's you. So
well, thank you very much. The 5th Beatle was actually Eddie Murphy. I gotta give me another cup of coffee. I'll be right back.
Yeah, Keej and I go way back.
but yeah, it's shaping up to be a real nice day today.
Yeah, I got a few things
So,
to do.
I was expecting a little bit of fog or something, but it's been.
You don't get the fog we do. I mean, I'm close to the Fresno River, so we get fog really bad. When I got up this morning at 6, I looked outside and it was kind of pasty outside.
When we get it, it's really bad.
You're closer to I-5 than 33?
Sky here is a nice deep blue.
Wow. The sun's barely coming out now.
Yeah, we got 100% chance of rain today.
Well, we don't have rain until Thursday. Steve will get. I mean, not Steve. Pat will get it before I will.
It's been raining since early.
You mean it's raining right now?
Yeah, I'll get the rain about.
You'll get the rain before I will, at least about an hour.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I get it, I'll get it 20, 30 minutes before you.
And you get the
But
heavier rain too.
You already
Probably.
know we don't. It's about the same, at least from what I experienced. Taking the kids back and forth. So,
No.
but you already know we don't get a whole lot of rain. So
No. You drove your kids to Memorial every day?
mostly my wife.
Oh, okay. Wow.
But yeah, she my wife was working at CRMC downtown.
That's where my
She was,
my
in
niece
charge.
works.
She was in charge of employee health there.
Yeah, my niece is a nurse there.
Yeah, for the years my wife was there. Yeah, but she did employee health there, and when she left there, she's on disability now. We didn't realize it at the time, but they called my wife in and terminated her for sleeping on the job. And she said, "I never slept on the job. I don't know what they're talking about." And shortly after that, she had a seizure at home, and that was her post seizure presentation. Was it looked like she was sleeping? So she hasn't worked since she worked at CRMC, but you would think a hospital would realize, hey, someone just had a seizure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
and there's no go back to any kind of resolvement.
It wasn't worth it for us at the time, because when all of that happened, my sister was going through her cancer. So, and she eventually succumbed to that, and at that point, only my son was going to school anymore, and we got him through the end of high school, and from there on we were kind of done going to Fresno. So
Occasion?
Yeah, Hector.
Well, I was going to say that Pat and I have another connection too, besides him being only 45 minutes from me. His kids went to high school where I went to high school in Fresno. Really? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Where you went to high school? Wait, y'all both went to the same high school, or the kids did?
The kids went to the high school after I graduated from there. I graduated in 75, and his kids are much younger than I am.
Oh yeah, imagine.
Yeah, and I'll say it from the highest mountain is Catholic school, best money I ever spent.
My cousins went to Catholic school, then elementary and high school in Abbeville, and Mount Carmel was the elementary, and then when you got in 9th grade, I was VC, the Vermilion Catholic. Good football team too.
I got kicked out of Catholic high school in my sophomore year for coming to school in a Black Sabbath t-shirt.
Oh.
I think I can see the irony in that.
Yeah. It's like I don't think we wait a minute now. They had uniforms back.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wore a uniform to go to Memorial.
He
Yeah.
probably
We
was
had
out of-
uniforms,
out
but
of
Fridays were free dress days. You could wear whatever you wanted, and
Okay. All right.
you know, I had a Black Sabbath Born Again T-shirt. So,
Wow. And you got expelled for that?
so
Mm.
but you know, it was worth every penny of it.
And you walk by a couple of the sisters. Did they have a little fainting spell?
The nuns that I had were tougher than that. They would never faint on that. They would probably pop you in the head.
You see, Johnny went to Catholic school.
Yeah, I was gonna say I got cracked in the knuckles for that. So
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Johnny got one
I
of
got
them
the whole,
rulers
you
on
know, hold your
his
hands
knuckles,
out.
too. Oh yeah.
What high school did you go to? I mean, I should say, what city did you grow up in high school for that? In Turlock?
No, that was in Moore Park. So
Oh,
that was St. Patrick's School in Moore Park.
yeah. I haven't heard that.
I don't think they're even there anymore.
Yeah. One of the high schools that my nephew goes to, or I should say, went to, was De La Salle.
Hmm.
That's an all boys school. He lasted 4 years and he came out really good out of it.
Yeah. But you know, when both my kids got into college, you know, they were just stunned that people didn't know how to write a paper, how to do citations,
Hmm.
you know, just all manners of English. They had no clue, no
Yeah.
clue whatsoever. So
You'd be surprised how many teachers don't know what that is.
mhm. Well, you know, my son's done, you know, did really well when he was going to college, but
Mhm.
my daughter has been for everything. She's been summa cum laude all the way.
Wow. What did she even get her doctorate in?
So, not public health, but some kind of health where you deal with autistic kids.
Mm.
So, but she's thinking about changing to occupational therapy.
That's well, the clientele will be a much larger area to work with. The population
Yeah.
for autism is smaller,
So,
more specialized.
mhm. Well, that's what she does right now because she's working on her. Like I said, she's working on her second master's right now and getting her hours together for her BCBA.
Mm.
So, I couldn't be more proud of her. You know, she busts her butt, you know, every day.
Wow.
So, you know, and you know, she's a daddy's girl. You know, always has
Yeah,
been, always will be.
I have one too.
Hmm.
Yeah, she's surprises the heck out of me. She's, when she was growing up, she liked kids, but she didn't want to have kids, and I said, oh, okay. So the years went by, and at 28, she had my grandson, and I thought, after talking to her for a while, she said, oh, this is it. This is all I'm going to have. Now we have 3 more after that. I said, I thought you said you wouldn't have any more. Well, I changed my mind. I said, oh my God, 4? So those are only 4 grandkids we have.
Yeah, they know what causes that now.
Yeah,
I tell them they know what causes that now.
Yeah, but my 4 grandkids, man, I hate to say this, but I enjoy them more than my kids when they were growing up. And I've heard other people say the same.
My wife's real hot to have grandkids, but I'm still, like I tell her, is I got too much shit to do.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of time
So,
away from you.
and I know everything will come to a yeah, as I said, all of my stuff will come to a grinding halt, and I won't mind. But I told her, if they want to wait a little while longer, that's okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've got plenty of shit I want to get done.
Well, I was a grandfather
So-
at 55.
Because yeah, well,
I'll tell you what, it
I'll
seems
be
like
54 this coming year. So
it seems like only yesterday that Gabby was doing the giddy up to that real hot song that was on fire. And now she's a young lady. 12 years old, and my tallest Missy, and filling out too.
Yeah.
Get me, one of them double barrel boudin busting shoot guns.
Well, my grandson's almost, he's almost, well, he is. He's over 5 feet tall.
well, I already
And he's
told.
only 11.
Well, I told my wife when we get the grandkids, she can deal with them till they're, about 10, and then they can come out and start, working in the garage and doing stuff with me. So
There you
I'll
go.
take over at that point. Once they're old enough to start handling power tools and not go running away, crying their heads off when they cut themselves on a saw, or have sparks fly on their pant leg and catch it on fire.
Well, as we have all the safety precautions, safety glasses,
The fun
safety
stuff.
gloves, all the fun stuff, and fire extinguishers, get them all ready.
You gotta let it. Everyone that learns to weld's got to catch themselves on fire at least once.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I even took classes at Dulles School for acetylene torch cutting.
Either set themselves on
Mhm.
fire or get shot. One of the two. Because
I prefer not to get shot.
welding, you can get shot. You on a
No, that's true.
a wet slab, and you got a hole in your boot, and you right there. The ground's right there. And what project you're working on is sitting on the floor, concrete slab, and I've got tickled a few times. Somebody welding. Didn't realize I had a hole in my boot. I had shrimp boots on. Didn't realize I had a hole in my boot. Sure did.
Uh-oh, we lost Pat.
I should say somebody got froze up. Everything went quiet.
Yeah. Yeah, we last weekend we did 50 pounds of masa and 20 pounds of meat and about another 10 pounds of cheese and chilies.
Yeah, made a bunch of tamales.
Yeah, there he is. LAPD.
LAP
How you
corn.
doing? I wonder if Pat got kicked off or
He
let's
probably
see.
lost connection because there's a couple times I noticed his mic had broke up.
Yeah, I was gonna say that if it wasn't lag, then why is he taking so much time to answer? And then when you said that you just right now when you said he cut out, I noticed that, but I didn't think of it that way. So you're sick too, from the flu, Cajun?
I got the crud. We call it the crud.
Uh-huh.
I can't say I got the flu because I don't know. I don't have the Hong Kong flu. I was running fever
Mhm.
night before last, it started out early Thursday morning. I got up at like 4 or 5 in the morning, and I had a tickle in my throat. And when you feel that, when I feel that certain tickle in my throat,
Hmm.
I know 100% I'm coming down with something. That's the first symptom. Just a little tickle and a certain feeling in my throat.
Yeah. My wife said the same thing 2 days ago, and then yesterday she says I feel sick. So I went to the store and got her Dayquil and NyQuil, and I tried to find some Theraflu. I'm sorry,
I got
Theraflu,
none
and there
over
was
here. I
none on
got
the
all.
shelves.
Oh, I forgot to take my morning medicine. And then spasms like in my knee and my back, and uh, just some little lightning strikes,
Really?
related to muscle tension, and like in your back too. Because when you get the flu, your shoulder blades, it burns in between your shoulder blades, and the muscles
Hmm.
right there hurt a lot. But I've always taken my vitamins,
Uh,
D, B, C. Drink lemonade. I drink coffee and lemonade all day. That's it. So
yeah,
I get a lot of vitamin C.
I drink one cup of coffee, and that's it.
Oh no,
Everything else is water or juice.
I drank a pot or two a day.
Wow.
Sometimes, well, sometimes John is here,
Mhm.
and so he's a coffee drinker. He'll drink 3 cups or so, which that's a half a pot, 12-cup pot, but that's them little styrofoam cups. That's not them mugs that 14-ounce mugs we drink out of,
Right.
or 12-ounce, whatever they are. But
Yeah,
anyway,
I drink.
so
But I put plenty of milk in mine because I like
uh,
mine. I don't like them too sweet, but I like milk in it, and I'll put maybe a spoon of sugar, or sometimes if I remember, I'll put honey in mine, my
uh, we,
coffee.
we used to put syrup, Steen syrup in ours.
What kind of syrup?
Steen's, it's a dark molasses
Steam.
syrup.
Yeah, I
Steen
don't know
syrup.
that one.
Steen's cane syrup in the yellow can.
Yeah, I don't know that. That might be a local thing because I haven't heard that before.
It's all over the South and Tennessee, all that. It goes all over the place. In fact,
LA
when I used,
LAPD Coin says that he has a giveaway on his channel right now.
oh, okay, cool deal, LA Coins. I call him LA Coins instead of LAP.
Yeah, LAP for police department.
I don't know
Um,
because he's
I
not in
talked to.
LA. He's on the East Coast.
Well, I wonder why he's LA then. Must be the initials, maybe.
I knew it. He told me at one time. I just call him LA Coin instead of LAP. I just dropped the P. I call him LAP. I do it. I say it the right way every now and then.
LAP, yeah. Hey, have you talked to Rich? Callie?
No, I hadn't seen him lately. No, sure haven't.
I talked. I talked to him about a month ago. He just happened to be in the in Melissa's stream, and he pops up, and all of a sudden I said, "Hey, Rich, where you been?" And he says, "Well, my computer's been down, and I haven't been able to get it all working right, and so I just stayed off. I've been listening to a lot of you guys, and I said, well, say something. I said, and I, it's my fault too because I haven't tried to contact him. I've got his address, I got his phone number, and I
Yeah,
should contact him more, even though when I don't see him on streams or on YouTube.
yeah,
But I
yeah.
hear he said,
He did surprise me, a few months ago, but
mm-hmm,
said hi in chat. But and wait, let me see. It was probably 5 months ago. I think he might have came up in the panel.
uh, yeah, he came up on the panel on Melissa's. And we talked about it an hour, maybe 2 hours, maybe.
You talking about Hoovy?
Yeah,
Okay,
Melissa's. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. Uh, you're the only one that I know of that calls her Melissa.
Well, I call people out by their names usually.
Uh, I've always known her as Hoovy or Hoover.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're getting a big. We get two storms coming into California, and Thursday's supposed to be a rain day. So I don't know what's going to be like. It's supposed to be a what they call a atmospheric river. We're supposed to get like 3 inches of rain, which is a lot for California. LAP, Merry Christmas to you too. It is Christmas Eve.
Yep, sure you know well, LAP. Me, go to his channel here right quick. Open that new tab, and that way I'll have it open for after a while.
So, Cajun, what kind of foods do you guys usually use for celebrating Christmas in your local area?
Okay, wait. I was reading something. Repeat that.
Oh, okay. No, I was just wondering because we're like for us, it's traditionally we have tamales and just snacks, but mostly tamales for New Year's Eve. What is the local cuisine for you guys in your local area? That's a tradition.
Usually it's a ham uh, or like a goose and duck gumbo.
Oh, okay.
Um, because hunting season's on. And like when we used to go to my nana, she'd always have a duck and goose gumbo
Mm-hmm.
at my nana's house, and she'd have a beef roast, pork roast, and the gumbo, and
Mm-hmm.
then in a pot of a 30-cup pot Hitachi rice cooker,
Uh-huh.
30-cup pot of rice, and then she had 2 or 3 of those 30-cup cookers, right, Hitachi cookers. Because my padan, he ran the rice mill for over 50 years. So
Wow.
we get free rice all the time, Toro rice.
Okay.
And so they never had to buy rice, pork, beef, because my padan, they raised that. So they'd always have like I said, duck and goose gumbo, pork roast, beef roast, and the gravy, rice dressing. One of those 30-cup uh, cookers. She made 30 cups of rice, and that made a lot of rice dressing
Right.
and potato salad. And then all the desserts. My mom used to bring all the desserts. Fudge and all that stuff over there. And the sweet dough pies, fudge, cookies, and so that's what we used to do for Christmas. We go to my nana's and padans.
See, today we've already got all our tamales. The one thing my wife's gonna make today is our secret sauce, which is not like Mexican food like what I grew up on, but in Texas, in her part of Texas, her family would make a secret sauce to put on top of tamales. It's bacon ends, and she would cook it into a flour base and make it into like a gravy. Oh, and to make it hot, you put a little bit of chili in it. It is good. And put on top of your tamales. That's the only difference between her family and my family that make tamales. Ours is just masa and the meat and the mole inside. They make theirs with the mole inside, the meat inside, and the masa on the outside, but they put a gravy on top of it, and it's really really good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, great. Well, the way you explain that gravy, that's almost like a root gravy.
It probably is because they're from
Flour and lard.
Alamo, and Brownsville in that area.
Lard and flour, that's a root.
Yeah, and then they put um oh shoot The gravy from I'm sorry, the fat from the bacon, and then they get a broth, either chicken or I forget if it's chicken or if it's beef. Probably chicken because it's milder, and then mix it in with the flour, and then jalapenos and serranos and pepper and salt and garlic and all that. Yeah, LAP. I never had a goose either. Not even a duck.
Oh man, that's awesome. Never had duck before?
No,
Wow.
sir.
Even
We
tame
just
duck?
we just nope, not even that.
Yeah.
We just finished pheasant season and dove season here in this area.
Oh, okay.
I've had pheasant, I've had quail,
Yeah. Now
but no,
pheasant,
no.
it's kind of like a. I'm not saying it's going to taste like duck, but it's kind of like duck. It's dark meat all the way around because pheasants fly,
Hmm.
and anything that flies, except for chicken, uh, and like a turkey, but anything besides chicken and turkey, like a wild turkey, the breast would be like dark meat, and duck and geese is their breast is dark meat. It's dark meat all the way
Hmm.
around on a duck and a goose because of the fact they fly and they use those muscles get used a lot. So there's a lot of blood circulating in there,
Right.
and the blood that actually makes the dark meat dark.
Well, let me ask you this: if you're a hunter, aren't you, Cajun?
I used to be, yeah. I'm
Okay.
not mad at them deer no more. I'm not mad at them ducks no more.
When you were hunting and the buckshot that you would you use what kind of buckshot would you use? Birdshot or would you use the larger size?
When I'm hunting duck,
Yeah.
oh, we always use like a number 4 or
Okay.
uh
Now, when you cooked it, how
number
did you get
6.
those things out before you ate it? Or did you just pick it out when you were eating it?
Yeah, just pick it out when you're eating it, but usually they just go in a little bit because it don't take much to kill a duck. A couple of BBs in the skin, you know.
Um,
'Cause most ducks are when the dog brings them back to you, they're not completely dead. You got to wring the neck.
oh. So it like stuns them then.
Yeah, sometimes when like you get a close one come in and accidentally hit him all over in the breast, you got to pick a few BBs out, but they big,
Uh,
and if you get bite a piece of meat off, and they usually right under the skin.
oh, okay. Yeah, like I said,
So
I've
you
never
bring them
had
out,
goose or duck.
or you do like Back to the Future, just spit the shot out on the plate. I probably ate. I probably ate a few bird shot. The number 6.5, number 5, something like that.
Now, if you use a BB gun, you know, for like target practice, what size of BB would that be? A 4, 5, or 6?
Let's see. The most common BB I got is a 177 caliber. Okay, so
Okay.
that's gonna be about. I want to say the size of a number 4 shot, probably.
Okay. That gives me a better idea of how big a shot that is.
And
Because
number
I,
4
because
would
I,
probably be that. Like, what do y'all use for dove hunt? Number 6 or 7.5?
I've heard 6 from what I hear
Huh?
from my friends that do go bird hunting. They use a 6.
What do y'all use for pheasant?
Oh, 4. Are you kidding? Anything bigger than that, it'll destroy the bird.
So 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then shoot, we didn't like shooting quails because they're either
Oh,
too hard to
quail,
hit.
that would have to be like a 7.5 or 8. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and sometimes they use those short shells. You know what those are?
The 2 3/4, you mean?
Yeah.
That's the old fashioned 3 inch was the longest way back long time ago. 3 inch was a magnum. Two and three
Okay.
quarter was normal, and 3-inch Magnum. Now they got
Uh,
3.5.
right. The long one. Yeah.
Yeah, 3.5.
Yeah, because I see a lot of guys using
That's
full
for
chokes.
goose hunting there.
Because the bird's bigger, right?
The bird's bigger and they fly higher.
Oh, okay. And faster too, from what I saw.
It's what you repeat that last one.
From what I see, they fly faster too than a duck.
No, actually, ducks are faster than a goose.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like when the ducks coming in for landing in the morning in the marsh,
Uh-huh.
when the ducks are coming in right when the sun's coming up, man, sometimes you get 2 or 3 of them that fly by and you don't even see them. That's how fast they are.
Huh.
Because it's dusky.
Well,
It's not good
there's
daylight yet.
there's no shooting in city limits, of course, but we have a lot of drainage ponds to catch all the water for, conservation water.
Right.
And we have geese like you wouldn't believe. There's like down the street from my house about, I would say about a half mile. There's like 40 of them, all pairs, bunch of them. And then my old school, there was about 40 or 50 of them there too. And they fly from school to school and they go into the drainage ponds where they got water in them still. And they're there all day. But we can't shoot them because you can't shoot the geese or ducks in the city
Uh,
limits.
is that ducks you talking about or geese in the retention
Geese,
ponds? Okay.
geese.
Canadian geese.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, once Canadian geese, once they find a home and they ain't got to fly back to Canada, they'll stay down forever. We got Canadian geese that's been down here, and when the parents don't fly back, the young ones ain't gonna follow. You know,
Uh,
I mean the young ones they just stay down here too. We got them refuges down here, Rockefeller Wildlife Refuge, and
uh-huh.
that's that's a huge refuge, and they got other refuges, all along the coastal marshes, and all that's protected. So
Now, do they eat like the mosquito larvae and the small fishes that they put in the ponds?
they'll I don't know about mosquito larvae. I wish they would,
Me too.
or I hope they would anyway. But like ducks and geese. You dig a 2-foot pond, that thing would be 10 foot in 6 months. You know,
Huh.
they root. They're looking for them grubs and all that stuff down there too.
Huh. Yeah,
So
because
they just take the roots away. They root, not like a hog, but it's kind of the same theory. And because they're getting at the insects in the ground. And a 2-foot pond would be 10 foot across in 6 months.
yeah, we have a whole bunch of geese because they fly around my house all the time. We got tons of geese around here.
Yeah, and I'm in the Mississippi Flyway, so gate on. And all
Uh-huh.
them towns right straight south of me.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we right dap slap in the middle of the Mississippi Flyway. Gaydon, Kaplan, all them marshes down there. Man, I mean, millions of duck and geese. Millions.
See, we're in the flat. Well, speaking of migratory animals, we have the monarch butterfly that comes from Canada, and they
Yeah.
go through California to go to Mexico. And we
Right.
get monarchs like you would believe in this,
Oh,
and
yeah.
sometimes in the summertime.
We get them down here too. It's not as much as y'all do. We don't get them big. Every now and then you'll see a swarm of them,
Uh,
but it's not often. And blackbirds, like red-winged blackbirds,
uh,
man, oh, we get like clouds of them things. You'll swear that it's raining, but it's not. You know, it's just a dark cloud of blackbirds, and you get your automatic boudin busting shoot gun with number 9 in there, number 8 or 9, whatever, and don't they make an 8.5 shot? It might be 8, 9. I hadn't bought any shells, and I don't know how long, so I forget what they got on the market now. Anyway, you get you some number 8 or number 9, and 3 shells of that, and you just fire off 3 shots in the sweeping pattern, and you got a couple of 100 blackbirds.
Hey, are you guys trying to get rid of them or something, or are they a pest?
That's well, yeah, the rice farmers before they used to drill the seed, they just crop dust the seed, and the seed would be laying on the ground in the field. And the birds would come and pick up the seeds and eat them. I mean, it wouldn't destroy a crop, but still in all, it sure cut down on the bushels per acre.
Right.
So they used to have
when you
propane guns to make the noise to scare them away, but they get used of it after a while.
What did you call the seeding? Plug seeding, or what did you say? How did you use that phrase?
Rice.
Right.
See, nowadays they drill the rice.
That's what you said.
Yeah.
In other words, is it like a they poke the ground and the seed falls in the ground? Is it poked by a machine?
Yeah. What it does, it's just like a soybean planter that you don't plant in rows, but they call them rice drills. And what it is, you just dragging the rice drill behind the tractor, and the wheels are actuating the amount of seed that falls in the tube, and it goes in the ground. So they drill in the seed. You know, it's like a half-inch deep or so, half-inch, 3/4 inch deep, where the birds can't get them. Then they used to crop dust them. You know, spray the seed from the airplane.
Okay.
And they fly over the field, and they let loose they open the sprayers, and then when they get close to the end, they pull the lever, and then they climb up and go back for another pass. But you always got flaggers, and we would have these big compasses. You know what a pencil compass is?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sure do.
Yeah, draw a circle with and all that.
Yeah.
Well, these were huge wooden compasses, and they had a handle on top. And what we'd swing it around, and it would pop. You know, the leg would hit the ground in front of us, and while we was walking, we twisted the top handle, and the compass would turn around, and we'd do like 10 of those or 8 of those, and that way the crop duster pilot could see us, and we'd wave our flags, and that way he knew where to go over. And then once he passed me up, I'd start moving my compass. You know, 8 times, eight circles. That was about 80 feet, something like that, 70 to 80 feet. And then when he would pass the other guy, or when he was halfway, he would start turning his compass. And then when he'd make a turn around for his other pass, we were set with our flags, waving the flags, and that way that give him an aim point. And that way he wouldn't overlap too much. Because we used to see rice growing on the levees in the rice fields. We used to see rice growing on the levees, and next to the roadside. If a rice field was next to the road, we'd see on the side of the road there'd be rice growing. But now that they drill it, you don't see it on the levees anymore.
Because we have rice here, but I don't see it. Well, mostly where I live is cattle and orchards and vineyards, and north of us is and south of us. Have you ever heard of Tule Lake in California?
What lake?
Tule.
Nope.
T Tule. Well,
No.
it used to be a lake that was 200 square miles. It was the largest lake, natural lake in California. But they drained the lake, I don't know, about 100 years ago, and they turned it all into
Oh, is that the
farmland.
lake? Is that the lake that with all the rains kind of fill back up a little bit?
That was what I'll get to. Yeah, exactly. What happened
Okay.
was we didn't have the levees or the system to get the water out again because they use them all in farmland once the water was gone, and we went dry for California for like 50, 60 years. Well, the rain we had last year flooded the whole place, and now we've got back almost the original lake from the very beginning of time, and now all that land is out of production, and they almost had to evacuate Corcoran, which is a small town that has a large prison with 5,000 inmates. And
Yeah.
when the Tule Lake got filled up again, well, they almost had to um, what do you call it? Evacuate the whole prison system
Yeah.
and getting them out. But the problem was they found out now, why did they build a prison in the low part of a flooding? And it didn't do and then right now it's a big investigation. Who approved it? You know, why was this plan wasn't done? Why wasn't this study doesn't wasn't done? And it's a big deal right now. The farmers want their land back, but because the water doesn't recede and it's not getting soaked up as fast as it want to, it may take years for that lake to go back down. But they don't
Yeah.
want to spend the
But how
money.
much water's in that lake? A foot? 2 foot?
Some places 10 feet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, some places 10 feet. And yeah, but it's
Man,
almost 100 square miles
wow.
of water.
Damn, stock it with some bass and crappie, young brim.
Well, the thing is, the water's too salty now because of all the fertilizers that were in the ground over the years. So nothing really grows right now, right there. Not even animals.
Mm. Well, the salts that are used as fertilizer, that's not like table salt, is it?
No, but it's also magnesium, nitrates, aluminum. It's a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
there's a lot of metals in there that
Yeah. All your trace minerals.
yeah, and then it's accumulated, and because it's been dormant for such a long time, now it's back and flooding the whole water. Now, I mean, there's whole ranches that are flooded that are like 15,000, 20,000 acres that are still underwater. They can't even drain it. But that was the beginning of the year. I don't know what it is now. It may have changed, and it hasn't been in the news for a while. So I guess they're still working on a solution.
Yeah. But and don't try to filter that water for drinking water neither.
Oh, get a load of this. One of our counties is now thinking of putting a purification plant at the sewage plant to get all the sewage water to be drinking water because we're so short in California.
Oh man.
Yep.
Geez. Monetti.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna start buying my water.
Yeah, no doubt. I got a filter on my refrigerator.
Well, I'm gonna put one of the ones under the sink, the that Culligan type, the ones
Yeah.
that are the where they have the
Oh, the
filters that are
Pelican
better.
Man. The Pelican Man.
Oh yeah, you remember that? Oh yeah, I remember.
Oh yeah. Some old commercials.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
got a buddy of mine, he bought one of them upright pools
Oh my
and
God.
got the deck all the way around it. And instead of using the city water, because he lived in a community and they had town water, no well, like out in the country. Like I was raised on a water well,
Uh,
200 foot well, man. Daddy didn't take a chance. He always went deeper. That way you didn't have to dig another well 20 years later or whatever.
uh,
And, but so instead of him running his water bill up, he just called Culkin, man, and had a truckload of water brought
Yeah.
out. You know, he paid like $60 or $70 for a truckload of water and filled up the pool.
Wow.
It was fast, a lot faster than a garden hose hooked up to his faucet, and a lot cheaper than because his water bill would have. He said his water bill would have went up like $150. So $70 for a truck of water, you know, you saved $80.
Here, a truckload of water, 8,000 gallons is about. Well, no, I take that back. One of the tanks that I have at my dad's ranch, because now the water table is so low that you have to get a water tank in order to supplement the water supply, and
The
that's
well,
2,500. Yeah, that's 2,500 gallon tank, and it's $300 for one tank full. That's California though. That's because we don't have water.
$300 for a tank full.
Yeah, 2,500 gallons.
Okay, well, Daddy always had a tank on the well, and he always had air in it. I forget how many pounds of pressure they have. I think it was like 80 pounds, I think, 70, 80 pounds.
Wow. Mine set at
Yeah.
50.
Yeah.
And I get
Well,
good pressure.
this is country. Yeah. It was all galvanized pipe, too.
Oh, yeah. I changed mine out to PVC.
Yeah. Well, I don't. PVC, I handle that. I think PVC is good for. PVC is good for schedule 80. I forget what is good. 120, I think.
Yeah, I got commercial grade for the ranch.
But Daddy always had a tank on as well. You know, it's like I think like a 40-gallon tank or something. And like I said, it had air in it. So when we'd use the well, the pressure from the tank would go toward the house, and then the pump was actually, filling the tank back up. When the water goes out, the water's coming back in.
The well tank that we have now is only 119 gallons. The one previous, because we changed the tank out because it blew a hole in it, was 275. Well, it's bigger than that. No, it's bigger than that. Yeah, it's 6 feet tall, or was. It was 6 feet tall and 4 feet in diameter.
And they had this
So,
resort. It's like all double wide trailers.
mhm.
In this resort area. It was a gated community for senior citizens. You had to be a certain age to live in there. And they had a guard shack right in the front, and you paid, it was your trailer, you're double wide there, but I think you paid like $150 a month, $200 a month to keep it there. And then the water was like I think it was $15 a month, but they had their own. They wasn't dependent on city water. They had a well because that used to be bean fields right there.
Yeah, I had to
They
pay
had
today.
I forget how deep the well was, but the tank was huge. I mean, it was probably like a 10,000 gallon tank, 20,000
Wow.
gallon tank. Yeah, it was huge.
I just paid my water bill Friday, and it was $129.
You know how much mine was?
Probably $50.
25.
Yeah,
They
down in
just went up.
California.
They went up $5 on everybody's water. Usually we would pay 18, 19. Now it's 23 to 25.
Well, we're on metered water.
Yeah, we are too.
Wow,
But you
really?
get so many gallons for 20. The minimum. You get so many gallons. Like I think it's 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 gallons, whatever. Then after that, it's so much. It's like $5 a thousand or something.
Well, you got lucky then, because.
Well,
But
in the
you're
south, It's a lot cheaper down here to live. The cost of living is a lot cheaper.
Well, ours is because of the drought. That's the reason why you see, I was only paying, if I remember correctly, before the drought, I was paying something like $45, $40, and it wasn't metered.
Wait, you said you were paying 45 unmetered,
Uh-huh.
and then they put a meter,
Mm-hmm.
and y'all paying 100 and something.
I'm paying 129. What last one was 129.
Something's wrong with that.
That's
Something's
because
wrong with
they raised the rate, plus that we're paying for the meter, and they're renting the meter to us too.
Well,
We don't
anything to
own
make
it.
a dollar, huh?
I'm sorry?
Anything to make a dollar, huh?
Are you kidding me? Every company is that way nowadays. I went to get my oil change at the dealership, and in comparison to getting the oil filter, 5 quarts of oil, the brass, the what do you call it? The brass ring, the collapsible ring that goes on the plug. I went over to O'Reilly's, and they were going to charge me $84. I went to the dealership, and they wanted $300. I said, "Are you kidding me? Just for an oil change?" Oh, because we use special synthetic oil. I don't care. I said, the oil. I got the same thing. What are you charging more for? And they go, "Oh, we don't charge more." I said, "We're just as competitive." I said, "No, competitive means that you are the pricing within reason, with another one." But my quart of oil was $5 a quart. They were charging me $17 a quart. I said, that's over $80. And then
It's
$5 for
cheaper.
the
It's cheaper here to
oh,
have
of
your oil
course.
changed at the 10-minute quick lube place, and you get whatever oil you want. You pick the oil you want.
No,
It's
not
cheaper
here.
than to go to O'Reilly's or AutoZone, buy the oil, buy the filter, and do it yourself. If you want to count
Mhm.
your time, say count an hour or 1 hour of your time. Okay, that's breaking out the ramps, chalking the tire, draining the oil, waiting on that to drain, uh, checking all your fluids, all that. It's going to take you about an hour, just say.
Mhm.
But so an hour of your time, say $30 or $20. Now
Mhm.
your oil is $30 for 5 quarts, a 5 quart container, 5 quart jug is and if I'm not mistaken, my Jeep holds 6 quarts. Jeeps hold 6 quarts
Mhm.
instead of 5. So that's an extra quart I gotta get at like $6 a quart, individual quart. And the filter, and then like I said, my time and labor, my time, it's $30 at the oil change place for oil change. $30.
Well, it's a lot cheaper than we do. But in California, because we have the most population and the most cars in any state, they got to make money somehow. I know petroleum. I mean, last year, all those BP, Chevron, Mobil, whoever. Last year, the companies made $200 billion in profit. That's something wrong there. It's got too much.
Yeah.
They're gonna make too much money there, and then they're asking for subsidies to drill. I don't know. I get a little antsy about that.
Well, what it is they getting like stuff says permission to drill because the government don't want you drilling right now.
Actually, from what I heard was okay. There's a commercial on TV right now that says that we get most of our oil from Saudi Arabia and back east somewhere. And then I looked into it, and we get most our first. Well, yeah, that's true that we do get a large portion of our oil um, from Saudi Arabia and the OPEC countries. But you know who's number one on that list? Who gets more oil to us in California? Well, this is the commercial pertaining to California. Is Alaska? They send more oil than they do from across the Atlantic.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well,
So
Louisiana is dependent on its own oil. We have so many oil wells in the Gulf of Mexico and on
Mhm.
the land. There are literally thousands, okay, thousands of wells that they shut the valves on. Okay, all you got to do is open them and start flowing them again. That's it.
they do that. If they close them, that means the price of oil goes up, and the price of oil goes up. That means gas goes up, and they make more money.
Now, Louisiana, we
It's
have
it's
our
just
own oil wells and our own refineries, so we
and
are
it's just
refining
yeah.
our
That's
own
why
oil.
we only have I think I'm not correct. If I hope I'm not incorrect, but I think we only have three plants, and we have a pipeline that goes from Texas all the way from Texas to California, and they still say our gas. Like I'm putting gas at 3.89 a gallon. It was 5.69 before, so going down
Yeah,
$2 a gallon.
like 249 here.
Yeah, because transportation and your oil wells are close by, and we have special blends that I mean, in our valley, we get so bad with smog that they even tell us that we have to put our kids inside because a lot of our kids have asthma. And the ones that do have asthma, they collapse on us, even in
Yeah,
class.
the AQI, Air Quality Index.
Yeah, it's bad here, and it gets trapped because we're between two mountain ranges, and when it gets hot, it's almost like a cap on top of us. We can't get rid of the we can't get rid of what do you call it the smog because we're in a cap zone between two mountains, and it can't go past Bakersfield because the mountain ranges come up there from the Tehachapies. We can't get it down to L.A. So
What
when
about
they
the
say, "Go ahead,"
what about the Santa Ana winds? That doesn't
that only
move that
comes that
smog
only
around
that's
a little bit.
yeah, but those are below California. That was below Bakersfield. So the only places that get cleaned up are the ones below L.A. Santa Ana winds is Santa Ana because it's south of LA. It doesn't cut across us at all.
Oh, okay.
So you're looking at Arizona, Barstow, Bakersfield, that area below that. So when they have the Santa Ana winds, it's in the mountains, and they don't want those winds there because it goes from west to east. And when there's a fire down below, let's say, let's put it. Well, anywhere close between LA and San Diego is about 600 miles. I'm sorry, I didn't take that back. 300 miles between LA and San Diego, and the winds cross there into Arizona. That's where they get the Santa Ana winds. I wish
Okay.
we could, but the mountains are too high in the coast, so it goes up and over California in the Central Valley.
Okay.
We get the only ones we get are the ones from San Francisco Bay Area, but it goes along the mountains like the Stockton, Sacramento, and then across Truckee and Big Bear, Northern California, and then it skirts all the way through and up and above these Rocky Mountains, so they don't even come close to us anymore. And if we do get some wind, it's because it's a storm, and the mountains protect us that way.
Yeah. I thought Pat Paulson would have popped back in by now.
No, he had a project to do today. He had to do his son's. I think he was talking about a vice put in the back of his van.
Oh, okay.
That was his project. But like I said, he's only like 45 minutes from my house. To go up 99, I make a left on 152, and 152 goes right through his town. Yeah, and the funny thing is that like I said, our connection is also that his kids went to my high school. And he's a good guy. As a matter of fact, I was supposed to meet up with him and go to a junkyard and go check out the junkyard because he's wanted to get a truck out of there or some parts for his cars. He's got a bunch of cars. I know he says he's got seven 240Zs, and I plan to go see him one of these days about checking out his collection.
240Zs, man. I ain't heard that car model in ages.
Well, the 240Zs now are the 400Z, the 370Z. Nissan still makes them, but they're kind of oddly shaped. They're kind of like more fat and round.
I remember
Then-
the 240, the 280, and then the 300 more later on.
Oh yeah,
Like I think
Yeah.
when the 300 came out, wasn't it? Didn't it have the name Nissan on it?
yeah.
Okay,
Datsun got absorbed up.
right.
Yeah, we're having a big get together tonight, so I'm gonna have me a big breakfast, and I'm gonna wait till tonight for dinner.
Man, we were supposed to be going to my mother-in-law's today. I called my mother-in-law earlier. Missy, she came down with this yesterday morning. Like I said, it was
Right.
just a day after I did. Like a 24-hour span. So I know she didn't get it from me because she'd have got it from me. It would have been a little bit later,
Right.
that incubation period, for a
Mhm.
cold or whatever. Once
Right.
you catch the bug, it incubates in your body. Then it, 3-4 days later, the symptoms start showing. So no, she
Right.
didn't have no incubation time. So she caught it same time I did, more or less, and I guess it just hit me first, Then it got to her like it's 24 hours later, 24 hours later. But I called Missy when I got out of bed. Missy said, "Call Mama and let her know that we can't make it, and I can't make it." I'm like, "Okay." So I called, and her mom said, "Yeah, I was hoping she wouldn't, come down with it, but apparently she did."
Hmm. Wow. Yeah.
She got more nauseated than me. I just got a little nauseated, but the pain and the headache, man, it's like a headache that came with it. I never catch a headache.
Really.
Never. Man, I can count on my two hands how many times I had a headache since I was a kid.
Wow.
Remember the worst headache I ever had in my life? Oh boy, man, that was about 3 weeks to a month of a headache. It was, if you can imagine a migraine, this is way worse. I never had a migraine, but I had spinal meningitis when I was 24 years old. Yeah, my spinal
That's not
fluid
good.
was infected. And your brain, see, your spinal fluid circulates just like blood,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but it circulates from the bottom of your spine into your brain cavity in your skull, and
Right.
it flows around and around. And it got in. I caught it from skiing in the Vermilion River. I bit the dust skiing when I went to drop one ski and just go slalom, drop that second ski and just go on one. I bet the dust and some water got in my ears or swallowed some water or something. And just so happened the bacteria got in my spinal cord and had spinal meningitis. Man, let me tell you that is a headache from hell.
Mm-hmm.
People say migraine. Migraine is nothing compared to this because your spinal fluid's infected and your brain is actually kind of swelling, you know. And
Now, how do
high
you know about
fever.
that?
Well, I had it. I was driving truck. I was driving a company truck. I didn't have my own truck. I had sold my first truck. It was in between two trucks that I had owned. I was a company driver. And I just thought it was fatigue, you know. About 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening, I get real tired, you know, start catching a headache. And then when I'd wake up, I was refreshed, you know, go to work, jump in the truck, run all day, you know, 10, 8, 12, 10 hours a day. And then every day, about an hour earlier, started at like 6 o'clock. And then go to 5 o'clock, I started getting fatigue, a headache. And I blamed it on too many hours behind the wheel, you know.
Right.
And then the next day, 4 o'clock, then 3 o'clock. Well, after a week or so of that, week and a half, we went to Crowley. Me and my girlfriend at the time went to Crowley, and we had a babysitter because she had a couple of kids. I didn't have no kids with her. She had two of them. And we went to Crowley to my cousin's place. The guy, you know, Paul Marks, that owns the radio station, he had a bar room in Crowley. So we went to the dance, you know, and I drank one beer and I had to leave. I had such a bad headache. I felt good when I left, but when I got there, I had a bad headache. And then on the way back, we got Sonic. You know, we even picked up a burger for the babysitter, you know, a meal deal. And we got home and I went to bed. I had ate, went to bed. Next day, I couldn't get up. I couldn't get out of bed. I was hurting so bad. My head was hurting so bad. And then I'd want to sleep. I had to crawl to the bathroom to take a leak.
Dang.
And then that afternoon, I told my girlfriend, I said, go to the neighbors, use the phone, call mama and tell her I got to go to the emergency room. So when my mama heard that, when mama got the phone call and my girlfriend said, Boo wants to go to the emergency room, she said, well, there must be something bad wrong with him because he never wants to go to the hospital. You know, I mean, not to be a patient, put it that way. You know, he does
Yeah.
not want to be a patient. Something must be wrong with him. I'm hard headed like that. Well, they put me in the car. I kind of remember them carrying me to the car. The, Mom and Dad had a station wagon at that time, and they just put blankets because I was freezing. I had such a high fever, you know. They had blankets in the back, 3 or 4 pillows to keep me comfortable. And I got to the emergency room, and man, when they took my temperature, it was the digital thing, you know, I could see the numbers. When my temperature got to 105, I think it was, I remember that's all I remember. And then I woke up and the doctor's there. And he's evaluating me and asking me questions of where does it hurt and all this. Because I'm like, you know, I'm making sign like this. You know, my head feels that big around. So he put his hand under my head, put one hand on my chest, and he lifted my head up. And I was laying down. Put one hand on my chest, one hand under my head, and lifted my head up. Kind of, you know, stretch your spine, you know. Man, I screamed bloody murder. That hurt bad. And my mom was a nurse for 40 years. Dr. Abear looked at my mom and says, I think he's got spinal meningitis. Boy, and she
Wow.
went, no. Because that kills adults. Babies get it, they survive it, but that kills adults because they don't think nothing of it, and they don't go to the hospital. And that's why adults die of it. They hard head, they don't want to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
So he did a spinal tap. That didn't feel good.
No.
And in the fetal, and I'm cold, and they took the blanket off of me, I'm in the fetal position on my side, and he's in there. They gave me a local, to not to feel that big old needle going in my spine. They drew that fluid out of there, and sure enough, I had spinal meningitis. I was in the hospital for a week and a half, 2 weeks. They gave me all of them super antibiotics. And the doctor told me, he said, when you turn 40 years old, you ain't got a tooth in your head. I'm like, why? He said, all this medicine we had to give you. I'm like, well, it saved my life, I guess, so I ain't gonna worry about that.
Yeah, I've never had.
He was 20 years off. I'm almost 60. In a few months, I'll be 60, and I still got teeth in my head.
Mm-hmm.
But he was right, though. It did destroy my teeth.
Mm.
But that usually kills adults.
Right.
I read up on it. Went to the library, got books. Oh, and then the second spinal tap. Oh boy, man, no, they hit me with that knee. They on the coming out, he hit a nerve or a couple of nerves. Man, my legs just went straight, automatic, straight. My body was convulsing like 50,000 volts of electricity hitting me. And he's like, hold him down, hold him still, hold him still. Well, I mean, that's all I heard. I couldn't do nothing about it. That was just my nerves doing that. That wasn't me.
Right.
But he had asked me before that. He said, "You ready for your spinal tap?" And I'm like, "Oh no, I'll think about it." And then here comes Drusilla. She was a nurse, young nurse, and she wasn't that much older than me. And when I was about 14, 15, I had a crush on her.
Mm-hmm.
Always danced with her for the hospital parties that my mama held. Mama always held a Christmas party, and they'd have a band, and hell, I DJ'd for those when the band wasn't playing music. I was DJing to keep the party alive.
Right.
Because I DJ'd for 10 years and mobile disc jockey and radio. So anyway, she came in and she had a needle, So I had IVs in me naturally, and she says, "You ready for your shine?" I said, "Well, yeah, I guess so." Excuse me.
Okay.
I think I don't remember if she got me in the ass with it or the vein, the IV, and some Demerol.
Oh.
And
You didn't feel no pain?
they tricked me into getting
Why
me
is that?
spinal. They tricked me.
You don't like needles?
Huh?
They tricked you because you don't like needles?
They tricked me because I didn't want another spinal tap because that hurts.
Oh yeah.
You can feel that thing going, man, all that pressure in your spine and all that. You feel all of that, even with a local. Well, they didn't give me Demerol the first time. The second time, for my tap, they gave me Demerol. And she said, oh, she waited about 5 minutes. She was, shooting the breeze with me and my mom. And she was like, "You ready for your spinal tap?" I said, "Oh yeah, bring it on, man, bring it on." It was like, I don't give a dang shot, Well, Dr. Abel was supposed to have been there by that time, you know. And here, like 45 minutes passing, and I remember Mama saying, "Where's Dr. Abel at? This stuff is wearing off." So he showed up. They should have gave me another shot of Demerol, but I was passive. I was going with the flow. They brought me out of my room onto a table in another room. They should have did it in my room, and it was cold in that room. Oh man! And that's when he was coming out. He got the fluid and he was coming out when he hit that nerve. And after that, I swore spinal tap's off. I never took another one, even for my work release. Because, he wanted me to do another one just to make sure. I said, look, just prescribe me some antibiotics. I got to get out of this hospital. Prescribe me some antibiotics. Well, I got to give you a spinal tap, And I'm like, well, I said, well, I'll pay the hospital bill and you from like right now from the start to now, but any days extra, I'm not, because I've been wanting to get out of here for 2 days. So they finally let me out and went home, and I started studying up on it, and I traced it down to how I caught it. And when I went to his office for a work release, he asked me again, "You ready for your spinal tap?" I said, "No, not at all." I says, I'm tell you the truth, I'm lucky I'm not paralyzed right now, because I sure felt like I was going to be paralyzed. I said that was the worst electricity shock I've ever got in my life.
Wow.
He tested my reflexes. Oh yeah, he ran me through the mill, making sure that I was all right. He was scared, of a malpractice or whatever, but I'm not that. I don't do that,
Mhm.
Maybe if I'd have got crippled, well, yeah, then hey,
You won't have a recourse. That way you have something to live on.
yeah. So I could have got disability, or it was he caused my disability, so, but I didn't have a disability.
Right.
But being that my brain was floating around in infected fluid for so long, it caused a little bit of brain damage. Oh yeah, that's what's wrong with me.
Well,
Something was up. So I went back to work, and but that's the worst headache I ever had in my life.
mhm. Yeah, I did. I can say that other than having my colonoscopy, that's the worst I ever had. I mean, the stuff they gave me was really good. I mean, they told me to count from 100 to backwards, and I said 100, 99, 98. After that, I didn't remember a thing. And they put me under, and I woke up, and for the life of me, I guess it was a little bit too much because I was so groggy. Even an hour or two after surgery, the doctor comes in and checks on me and says, "Oh, maybe we should do some breathing exercise to get all that gas out of you." And after that, I still felt, not good. And so he said, "Well, we'll keep you here a little longer." And so my wife and my son waited for me uh, to get out of the recovery room. And when they got me to the car, I was just out of it. I was just too much. And I said, "Boy, whatever that stuff is good."
You're looped.
Yep. And then some, I think.
When I went, I didn't go for a colonoscopy. I went for a endoscopy down my throat,
Mm-hmm.
and they put you to sleep for that. And every time they like for my surgery, they had put me to sleep. There was another procedure they done. I forgot the name of it. It's a kind of like an MRI, but it's different. They actually go in you. You know, it's a kind of a non-invasive. You know, it's invasive, but it's not bad invasive.
Mhm. Ah, not much. There's still in you. How are you? Merry Christmas. I barely met him a few days ago.
Oh, okay, yeah, Merry Christmas. I've seen that name before. So
Anyway,
when they put me to sleep, I would last a long time. You know, like they
yeah,
say,
I'm not.
start
Yeah, I'm
at
not good
10,
at
count
taking medicines.
backwards. Hell, I'd go 10, 9, 8, 7, you know, all the way to 1. Then I'd do 0, -1, -2. And they laugh and they're like, dang, man, it takes them a while to go under.
Oh, not me. I
But
go down easy.
my throat wasn't sore or anything, you know, after that procedure.
Hmm.
Uh, I forget what they were. Oh, they were looking to, that was, uh, that was the first time I was in the hospital. And I got released, and then they wanted to do that endoscopy to see if it was still if my stomach, you know, my small intestine right
Hmm.
after my stomach, they wanted to see if that was healed up all the way yet. It's when I had that perforated intestine.
Hmm. Yeah, that was scary, huh?
Yeah, man, I was in the hospital a whole month for that.
Jeez.
But they didn't give me no gas. They they put me to sleep with the IV stuff. They put
Yeah,
all the monitors on you and stuff, you know, keep your heart rate,
yeah.
keep up with that, and they they shoot something in your IV to put you to sleep. Naturally, you got to have a ride home.
Oh, of course. That's what my wife didn't want to drive into the big city, so my son took the day off and came with us.
I mean, you were out during your colonoscopy, weren't you?
Oh, it's completely.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, I don't remember.
never felt no pain from that then.
No, but they took some polyps out. They took 7 of them out.
Oh, so they scratched you,
Yeah.
scraped you.
So, yeah. And then the doctor says when I saw him a month later, I'm trying to remember exactly. A month later, I was sitting down in the chair, and the doctor looks at me and says, "Wow, you recover fast, don't you?" I go, well, "Why is that?" It's because most patients I do colonoscopies, they don't sit down for a while. As a matter of fact, it's probably too early for you to sit. I said, "I've been sitting down since maybe a week or two ago," and I said, "Do you have any problems when you go to the bathroom?" And I go, "Well, it feels like painful when I." Yeah, and he goes, "Oh, well, that's normal, but you don't feel any pain right now." I go, "No." And my wife looks at me like, "Is that unusual?" And I guess it is, but I didn't feel no pain.
Yeah, I need to get one done. They've been after me to get one.
Well, it's pretty normal for them, but I was feeling a little bit because there was women in there with us. There was a male doctor and there's a male nurse, but then the surgical techs, um, they weren't. I mean, they were females. I guess they're used to that. Well, it was covered up pretty good, but
Oh yeah,
still, especially if they were cute. I mean, I don't remember anything. I just remember there were females and that was it.
yeah. Well, they got the smaller microscopes now, and uh, smaller polyp cutters now.
Mm-hmm.
No, Johnny, I think he's got to go through once a year. I think. He's
Oh
doing that.
wow.
Man, that's too close to each other.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to.
His doctor's making money on that though. That's what that is.
Well,
Johnny's got
the
good
thing is he covered by insurance?
yeah, he's got good insurance. You know, he's retired.
Oh,
so
he's making money on the insurance because the insurance has to approve it. I had to wait a month before they approved mine. So either the doctor's making money or there's a medical reason why Johnny has to have one every year. He's not that old, is he?
No, he's 67.
No, he's my age. Huh.
He goes
Does
in,
it-
I think, twice a year, or at least once a year. It seems to me like it's twice a year for a PSA test, and the doctor checks his prostate by hand.
Huh.
You know, like twice a year. I'm like, Johnny, that's too. Man, my doctor told me I don't need a PSA test, and he said it's iffy on that. That's 50%. You know,
Right.
and sometimes it shows that a PSA shows, you know, a swollen prostate, and when they check it, it's not. You know, it's good. So the test can be wrong 50% of the time.
Wow.
So
Well, that's
my
not
doctor
good.
said, "No, I don't recommend one. You know, said unless you feel you need one. You know?
Right.
I'm like, well, you know, I said, here I am, you know, knocking on 60, and I says, I never had one. You're supposed to take your first one at 40.
Well, when it was my time, they said 50. Now it's going to 40 now.
Well, when I was young, my mama told me 40.
Wow.
Well, I
Well,
guess Cajuns have a different diet, you know.
even my doctor told me 7 polyps was too many, or he made me feel like it was too many. You know, but he snipped them, and they all went to biopsy, and they said they're all fine. But they're supposed to do. I'm supposed to do one every 3 years, and they haven't said anything yet. So I think I'll wait for him to call me,
Yeah.
or I might, or or I might say, "Hey, don't you think it's time? You said 3 years."
Johnny, they want him. He told him your colonoscopy's coming up soon, and it's been Johnny told me it's been a year. So, and then Johnny, he would go in the day before, like for the doctor's exam. You know, with the doctor's, you know, when the doctor checks it manually, the prostate. Johnny would
Right.
go the day before for his PSA. You know, just a urine sample, and then you go back the next day, and they would have the results of the PSA test. And I'm like, Johnny, you ain't got to do that. They'll call you with your PSA results. You're making 2 trips to the doctor for nothing. You know, that's 40-mile round trip.
Wow.
You know, so you make 80 miles, you know, in 2 days. He said, well, you know, yeah, I said, what started all that? Did they tell you? He says, no, I think I just did it. You know, went a day ahead to do the PSA. Like, you know, one phone call to save you a 40-mile round trip.
Right.
Then when he goes shopping, he goes to Walmart. I don't know why. Super One is cheaper than Walmart on everything. Supermarket in town, way cheaper than Walmart on groceries. He goes to Walmart anyway. He likes to look. When he goes for 2 hours.
What did you call that grocery store? Super Wide?
Super One.
Super One. Oh, okay. Yeah, we don't have those here.
No, y'all got Fry's and Safeways and
No, that's in Northern California. We have Vallartas, we have Save Marts, we have Food for Less, Food Max.
who's y'all Kroger stores over there?
All of them. Kroger is the main supplier for. No, I'm sorry, not Kroger. Certified Grocers does it here. We don't have Kroger's here in California. Not that I'm aware of.
Because in Tucson, Phoenix, all over
New Mexico.
Arizona, Fry's and Safeway.
Well, Fry's used to be a electronics store in Sacramento.
No,
A
no,
big
I'm
one.
talking about the grocery stores, supermarket.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
our only Fry's that we have here are the ones that Fry's are electronic stores. They're appliance stores. Yeah.
I wish they had Fry's Electronics over here.
Well, they went out of business.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah.
We have a chain down here, electronic store and it's considered industrial electronics. You know, we got a lot of
Mhm.
plants and all that down here too. So it's Ralph's Electronics.
We still have a Radio Shack in California.
You know, there's one in Abbeville. It's a franchise.
Yeah, it's a franchise too.
Mhm.
But the main what do you call it? The main website is online still.
Yeah, in fact, I forget what company bought out the Radio Shack name, and they
Mhm.
coming back with Radio Shacks.
I think they should. I mean, the
Yeah.
footprint is big in the store. You can order anything you want and pick it up at the store. You know,
Yeah.
so
What killed Radio Shack years ago is when they started handling cell phones. They
yeah.
paid more attention to cell phones than like ham radio and catered to the DIY and electronics. They
Hmm.
got into cell phones so big, you know, that that's what caused their demise right there. They invested so much money in all them phones, and the cellular technology wasn't what it is. People realized after they got phones, oh, this is too expensive for us.
Hmm.
I gotta get me some more coffee. I'll be right back. You can still talk. I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I just made a pot of coffee just a little while ago. Took my meds. Um, we're gonna be making breakfast in a few minutes. I know back in your part of the neck of the woods, it's probably what after lunch, a little bit at lunch, 12 o'clock. So yeah, we gotta get ready for tonight. Get some stuff done. I got one more present to wrap. Gotta finish doing some things outside. 116. Oh, that's because you're probably in the East Coast there, guy. Still in ya. You're probably Jersey or New York, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, somewhere over there. Two people there. Just turn this on. Ooh. You put sausage and hamburger meat there, or what do you use, Stilia? There's two people in there. Jersey. Yeah, I'm in California and Cajuns in Louisiana.
I had to take a detour.
Not a problem.
I had to go lean off the dock.
As a matter of fact, 80% ground beef. Oh, usually I do 90-10. The only way I know that is because my neighbor sold us half a beef and we bought a freezer to put the half beef in it. So it was easy to measure out the fat content. Mostly grain fed and grass pasture.
Feedlots.
Actually, no, it's actually my dad's ranch plus his 10 acres, and we have 15 acres together. So he runs his cattle on each pasture. As long as the pasture is still tall enough for them to eat, then he moves them to the next, and then moves them to the next. And
Yeah, that's
then
what we call feedlots.
oh, do you? Oh, okay. Yeah, we just call them pasturing here in California.
That's the same. I mean, we still call it that, and then it's like different areas. You know, all you do is move your electric wires. And
Oh,
the
ours
cattle-
is all. We're all fenced in with barbed wire and cattle panels. Yeah, ours is. We're restricted more because we're close to a lot of the roads, so they won't cross into the road. The cattle cause accidents. So
Right.
most of our pastures are all fenced in, like in a one country block, half-mile block. It's all fenced in.
Yeah, but the only time you're gonna get 90% beef if it's most of the time if it's something you raised.
Right. Right. Yeah, this guy 6 weeks before he does the harvest, he grain feeds them, clean them out.
Yeah. Clean them out.
KJ, I'm down to low percentage. I'm like at 9%, and
Oh,
I've been on.
That's gonna
Yeah,
do
I'm
it.
down 3 hours, so I'm gonna call it a day because I got some stuff to do still, and wife is making breakfast right now, and I get it going. So it was a pleasure to talk to you, and I'm glad that you came up. And with Pat,
Yeah,
I'm
good to see you
gonna
again.
text Pat and see what happened to him
Oh, okay.
and
All
see
right,
what went on.
Monique,
All right.
y'all take it easy, and if I don't see y'all till tomorrow, whatever, joyeux Noel, bonne année, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's.
Same here with you and your extended family and your friends. I hope all you stay safe, and hope we talk before the new year.
All right, as always, love, peace, and crackling grease. Catch y'all
And
later.
give somebody a cookie.
Yeah.
Catch you later.
I'll
See you. Utah.